Angel escorts living guests to their seats in the front row. It is difficult to tell whether they are in the audience or on stage. These guests requested invites months in advance. We see Spike Lee, Ishmael Reed, Athol Fugard, Maxine Hong Kingston, Sonia Sanchez, Alice Walker, Toni Morrison, Harry Belafonte, Rihanna, Susan Lloyd Parks, Ed Bullins, and several other noted thespians. The announcer enters. It is W.E.B. Du Bois. There is a hush in the room and people whispering W.E.B. Du Bois. He walks rather impatiently to the lectern.
Yes, it is I, W.E.B. Du Bois.
Takes a bow.
I know. I said I would never come back after that last debacle. This is heaven. If we can't discuss issues of race and class, who can? Mr. Samuel Clemens, as you know, from our last encounter and the apologies that ensued on your part, not mine, that I have no problems with you. We are engaged in scholarship. I say to you all, this is heaven, and hopefully we are above unnecessary pettiness.
Loud crash is heard.
What was that noise? Those ghosts that think they can ignore the rules and speak will be removed. I don't care who you were in the past life. If you want to speak, get a life. We had an agreement. If you wish to speak, you have merely to step into the light. Otherwise, you have no voice in these proceedings. Let us begin. I am most pleased to introduce a man that changed the face of African American theater. Yes, just because I am in heaven doesn't mean I don't keep up. We've gone way past Negro. The playwright August Wilson has been invited to speak because of his contributions to the theater and the black race. Yes, I said it. There is no pretending. We are going to talk about race. Some of you act as all pious in heaven, but as soon as you get to earth, all of a sudden, you're white and in charge. I'm telling you that it ain't happening like that up in here. I know, everyone reads Omni and Wynet and says race is a construct. It ain't real, doesn't matter. We're all the same. But as soon as you get to earth, it's a whole different story. Well, we're going to get constructive.
A star angel comes on stage and gently touches his shoulder.
Oh, where was I? Yes. There is a need for change in views with regards to the black race. It is our hope that those of the living invited here today will give voice and agency to the viewpoints on theater, race, and culture that Mr. Wilson will discuss.
Angel points to Spike Lee, and Spike Lee stands up, waving his hand. Angel again points to Spike Lee.
Spike Lee, you know the rules. Sit yourself down. You have been warned on several occasions. This is not the Los Angeles Lakers game. You've been put on blast. Got that word when Eazy-E, Tupac, and Biggie decided to hold a conference on rap. You should have been here. Oh, I forgot you were banned. And although the ban is up, don't think.
An angel steps forward and whispers in Du Bois' ear.
What? Are you sure? This is unprecedented.
The angel whispers into his ear again, and a black angel comes out, handing Du Bois a heavenly scroll. He takes and begins reading out loud.
This is the word of God. Greetings. This topic is too important to worry about an occasional boisterous voice. We are of the opinion, and I mean the plural we, God and Goddess, that the time for full disclosure on blackness and the planet Earth has come. All those except for the ghost may speak.
Du Bois hands scroll back to Angel.
Well, God is the final word, but please, let's have some decorum. And those of you know to whom I speak.
Angel whispers to Du Bois. He looks shocked.
Well, Mr. Lee, apparently God considers you're one of the chosen. You may speak.
It's about time. Du Bois, you always trying to hold the brother down. Recently, I said that Hollywood knows nothing about black people, and I was called crazy. I'll tell you who is crazy. The American media. And no, this ain't Donald Trump speaking, spreading fake news. We have been addressing issues of blackness for hundreds of years, and I haven't seen change that I can believe in. Where are my 40 acres and a mule? Where is my racial equality? We can act all happy in heaven, but the minute people get back to earth, they have amnesia. Is a black man ever going to get a break?
Sit down, Mr. Lee. I've had enough of you. Is the black man ever gonna get a break? How easily you forget the past. You know what I'm talking about. The life when you were in...
Angel waves hand to say no. Du Bois hesitates.
I don't want to blow your cover, but you know what I'm talking about.
I object to this. Is the moderator allowed to harass the guests? There are a couple of lives of yours that I could easily mention.
Star Angel comes and asks Spike to sit. He grumbles.
Du Bois, we haven't finished. All this trash talking.
You want to see trash talking? Me and you later. I have an easier time with Booker T. Washington.
Du Bois motions to Spike that they will be meeting afterwards to settle this.
I believe we can start unless we have more objections. The topic of blackness will be reviewed tonight with the belief that the words spoken will give rise to new views of acceptance and racial tolerance. The Negro is a sort of seventh son, born with a veil and gifted with second sight in a world which yields him no true self-consciousness, but only lets him see himself through the revelation of the other world. It is a peculiar sensation, this double consciousness, this sense of always looking at oneself through the eyes of others, of measuring one's soul by the tape of a world that looks on in amused contempt and pity. To combine this stigma, the universe has brought forth muses to speak for the black man and woman. You, the playwright, are our earthly muses, and you, the actors, give substance to their music. August Wilson dealt with the topic of blackness as seen on the planet Earth. Tonight, he will go further in explaining issues of blackness and its effect on a planetary level. Without further ado, it is my pleasure to introduce August Wilson, who will discuss the healing of the black soul, or why Earth got blackness wrong.
Steps forward. He looks as he did on Earth, only younger with a slight glow.
Good evening. Thank you, Dr. Du Bois, for that marvelous introduction. Can everyone hear me?
Walks toward the audience and away from the lectern.
I don't need a platform. I want to walk among you. In my talk, The Ground on Which I Stand, I said, if there are any foreigners here in the audience, welcome to my country. I give out the same welcome tonight. Only I now see there is no such thing as a foreigner. What is foreign is the belief in separation. When I first entered heaven, I was scared. I'm not saying this is everyone's experience, but it was mine. I wasn't expecting to die. I thought I had so much more to write, and then suddenly I was here. It is not what I thought heaven would be like. It seems more like a very advanced school. We are not above you on some cloud. We are around you in the ether, by your side. You have not been able to see us, to see heaven. Even here, what you see depends on your advancement as a soul. When I came here, I thought I knew a great deal about being black. After all, I am a black man. In fact, I thought I knew a great deal about being a man. I found that I know very little about either subject.
August, when I delivered the eulogy for Malcolm X on February 27, 1965, I thought, R.C. Davis, this is a black man. Malcolm was our manhood, our living black manhood, a prince, our own black shining prince who didn't hesitate to die because he loved us so. When I met him here, I called him a prince, and he said to me,
Assalamu alaikum. Wa matula. Wa barakatu. Brother in peace. Be in peace. We are all brothers.
Malcolm was the first person that greeted me and showed me glimpses of heaven, and it did not have a race.
When I entered heaven, I was expecting angels, and instead I was greeted by jazz.
Ancestral spirits morph into a swinging jazz band with images of the jazz greats led by Count Basie.
All around me I heard jazz, and then I looked up and I saw Count Basie, Bessie Smith, Louis Armstrong, and Ma Rainey. I hollered, I am in heaven!
Music fades.
We holler back.
Where did you think?
Where do you think we're going?
We get a lot of people unsure of where or what heaven is. I learned that heaven is personal. I can tell you who greeted me. I heard the words, Malcolm, blessed one, and I was surrounded by family. Family of every hue. Some I had never seen, but I knew they were family, and I knew their names. I felt so much love. I was greeted by love. I felt a connection, and I knew that I would do this for others. I knew that I would help others cross over, and that is what I have done.
It's all about love, baby. All about love, yes.
I died feeling so much despair. I don't remember anyone greeting me. I felt an energy around me, but I was angry and didn't want nothing from nobody. They placed me, Zora Neale Hurston, in an unmarked grave in a segregated cemetery. I felt forsaken, and yet I knew on some level that I was not.
I used to dream of you in the woods, just wandering. I would race towards you calling, Miss Hurston, but you kept walking. I told myself, Alice Walker, you have to stop this. These dreams are crazy, but I wanted you to turn around. I wanted you to see me, to see all that was around you. One night I dreamt of you and you turned around. You stopped and looked at me as no one has ever done. Right then I knew I had to find your grave.
I remember too. I slipped inside your heart because it was so open.
Put his arm around Alice.
Alice Walker, thank you for giving me dignity and helping me to let go of so much pain.
They hug.
As a black man, I was denied burial alongside Francis Grates. Wasn't I great? Didn't I deserve to be acknowledged in death? Victor Hugo and Émile Zola were buried in the Panthéon of Paris, but not I. I waited over 100 years for my acknowledgement. In 2002, Alexandre Dumas was remembered, just like Le Comte de Monte Cristo. I waited and hoped. My ashes were interred at the Panthéon of Paris, and I was there, commanding all that happened.
Are you saying that you arranged the entire event?
Of course, Dr. Brecht. I am a writer and a director. I could do no less. The government might have thought they were in charge, but I, Alexandre Dumas, ruled that day.
We talk about death here, but what is it really? When I said, do not fear death so much, but rather the inadequate life, I had no idea what death meant. This is not what I expected to learn, to have freedom to create. I was Bertolt Brecht, the great prelate. That was my identity. I was judged on earth and judged others. In the time I lived, words caused so much harm, so much judgment. I remember sitting at the McCarthy hearings and being called a communist, and wanting only to say, I am a human being, and that is all that should matter.
You're right. That was all that should have mattered. As Paul Robeson, I spoke out against the treatment of blacks, and I was blacklisted, denied an income and a passport. I am a human being. I had a right and a duty to speak the truth.
Would you believe that the voice of truth comes from God? God within you. As hard as it was to speak the truth, Paul, that is one of the reasons why you were put on earth at that time. Many of us thought we were writing and speaking our own words, that we were alone.
I felt and thought I was alone. I was at war with my country and myself. When I said, the problem of the 20th century is the problem of the color line, I should have said, the problem with this world is the problem of color. Skin color, which holds no importance here in how you are judged, not by your spirit, your essence. On earth, they have it backwards. I gave up my citizenship and moved to Ghana because as a black man, I felt haunted. What has changed? In the world of spirit, are we as blacks still colonized? Is this not our right to question, to learn, to have a voice in heaven? The reason we are here is the hope that what is discussed will create universal change. The issue of race and color should have left the room decades ago. I'm not asking for a colorblind society, but rather one where all people are equal.
Is that all you were asking for? I believe